Hello and welcome to Jokakaka. I am Jim.
I'm Sam.
And oh my gosh, Sam, we're back for another crazy diamond demonic heartbreak. This is the second chapter that's come out for this JoJo spinoff. It's a full-fledged JoJo spinoff.
Yes, it's nice to have JoJo content again, and we're only getting more from here. This is just like this. It's funny how this is like the month with only one thing, because next month we're getting like two new things.
Yeah, it's crazy how much is like
We're being
coming
fed
down the
good.
track.
We're just being fed. It's that picture of Sabrina being fed like all the pancakes from various people.
Sabrina.
Yeah, that's what like there's a meme of Elizabeth Joan Hart from Sabrina being fed like pancake by 20 different people.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I'm more familiar with the gif of Salem, her cat, being like overweight, like swollen. His belly's like swollen. This
Usually,
is from the show.
yes, people probably know Sabrina Teenage Witch from like the Netflix one, the younger younger crowd, I guess.
And if you're really old, you remember it was an Archie comic spinoff.
I mean, she is in the Archie TV show, the current one now.
Yeah, she was a spinoff from Archie.
No, I meant in the crappy CW show, she's
I
also
know.
like in it now, which is
Yeah,
like
they're doing the Archie universe.
wait until you get the Archie Sonic.
I wonder if Jughead has committed any mass terrorism yet.
I mean, it depends if he has. It also if he has the serial killer gene or not. That's just genetic.
All right, sorry, we have to get back
Speaking
to
of
JoJo.
genetics, stands.
So yes,
Wait.
I forget the name of the mangaka that does this, but this is the
he's the guy.
spinoff. So
Yeah, the guy who did No Gun Life.
yes, the we last month we got, it feels like forever ago. It doesn't feel like a month ago, but last month we got the first installment of this, which so just to like catch everyone up, it takes place in March of 1999, which I think some of our commenters said like is before part 4 technically starts. So this is
Yeah.
like basically an interquel. I believe you'd use the word interquel between part 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too because it actually is kind of like very fixated on both of those parts.
Yes.
Like it's very built off of what happened in part 3.
Yeah.
And also really obviously we're in Morio now and I feel like the rest of the story is going to take place here. So it is kind of a really good blend between these two parts, which you don't really see so many times when there's like prequels. They'll just be like, all right, we're just going to take like the character and spin them off in some way. Like we'll take Sabrina, the teenage witch, and we're going to spin her off into her own show.
She's in college now, and this is like her college adventures. There you go.
So, but no, this is like very much about Dio. We are tying in several characters. There's original characters.
We got our trio. It seems to be now like together at the end. Like we are now like going forward with the plot and not just like here are our characters that you know and love. Like
Yeah, we have a classic trio: Josuke, Yasuo, and Mamazuko.
Yeah. It's just funny that like is like reintroduced to Josuke, but this is like before like a lot of his shit like it happens to him in his own part. Like this is
that's the weird
before
thing
his Uncle Ben moment.
Yeah, that's the weird thing whenever you get a prequel for a character that you really are fond of or that you really get to know, you're just like, all right, well, I guess this is before Square One. Like, and
but we
I
do
don't
get
know
some
if,
of that
like,
stuff from before Square One, like his like anger heals that don't fully heal.
Yeah, that's true. They actually kind of do that, which
Yeah.
I was kind of like, huh. I was on the lookout for that. We can talk about that later. But so
Yeah.
basically, if I recall correctly, the weird it basically the setup has just been like we're trying to track down the guy, the mysterious bird guy.
Whole
that
horseman
trained-
needs to find a bird.
Yeah,
Like,
so there was a
with him,
brother
but
to what was his name?
what?
Oh my god, I'm drawing
Pet
a blank.
Shop? Bro?
Pet Shop, yeah. Pet Shop had a brother, I guess, or maybe I don't know if they said it was a brother. It was
I had like Oingo Boingo in my mind for a split second there. I was like,
no. Sadly, we did not see Oingo, did we?
Oingo was probably playing with like RPS kid, and like because the book probably told him to leave his book in the street.
Oh well, that's Boingo. I was
Oingo.
talking about Oingo.
Oingo. It's talking about
Oingo's
but-
Kunamu.
Yes.
Boingo's Thoth. I only know that because I'm looking at the page that says Boingo with him right next to it. Sorry, we're really just kind of like scatterbrained. But yeah, so there was literally no Boingo here. Boingo seems to be just like used to have his stand injected into the story. Like,
I guess they could literally just come up with the book told him to leave his leave the manga there, and then everything else would just be going according to plan.
I kind of maybe I should save this for the end of our like little recap,
Yeah,
but I kind of don't like that. Like,
it's
I don't
weird.
know.
Hey,
We'll get
what
to it. We'll
happened?
get to it.
Yeah. So yeah, so we basically started out with like Whole Horse trying to figure out if Josuke's friend or foe, and he hits him with like the classic JoJo like question essentially.
He almost does like the iconic Josuke pose at the end of part 4 that I love so much, where his hand is like
the
10
stare
times the size.
with the bag over his shoulder, like staring
Yeah,
off.
he's doing that without the like hyperextension in the shoulder. Also, he's not holding the bag. This pose of Josuke is so good. Like,
It is very good.
the mangaka has captured the character of both Whole Horse and Josuke so well. It's actually uncanny.
He catches them
Like,
perfectly, but still has like the designs and like the own style. That's not like trying to copy or anything. It's like it's super good. I love it.
yeah, the close-ups look amazing. Like, all the close-ups. I remember even in the last chapter, everything with Whole Horse just looks so cool. All the extreme close-ups with him, all the close-ups with Josuke. Like, I like the way he does Josuke's hair here. It's like it feels very like true to the style of the character.
Also, just like I guess because it's drawing like, or like the no gun, like the gun, as you can see like the barrel and like the detail. Like I feel the gun's way more has way more details than it did.
Maybe.
It feels.
But so yeah, we have the hilarious thing where Josuke gets his hair
But
insulted.
it's not even insulted. He calls it a fancy hairdo. It's not like that's like not like a super really of an insult. But once he mentions hair, Josuke snaps.
I think there's a little sarcasm. I think there was.
Yeah, there probably is.
Yeah.
I have the like the McCree voice when I read horror, so I'm sorry. What's his name again? I forget.
I literally forget too.
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't. I don't.
Who cares about Overwatch anymore?
Not this guy.
But yeah, we get to the hair insult, but we see the but we thought it was like a button-eyed thing, but you find out like a little bit after it's like a punch card, looks like a punch ticket, and that's like the thing on his eyes are essentially.
Yeah, so he like throws it up because Josuke does his stand. He's a crazy diamond to like heal everyone.
Another thing, we mentioned the gun detail. You kind of, I just love like I'm not sure if I noticed like from reading part 3, but like the barrel, like the revolver barrel, like under the gun, like under the barrel, it's kind of like very unique looking, and I love that.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, so he does his think he just like brutally beat up a person, but somehow ended up healing him.
I also love the way this guy looks. I love his little mustache. He feels like a character. Like, I know he isn't
he's
because
a standard civilian in JoJo.
Yeah, he looks a little better off though. Honestly,
Yeah.
he looks more like a pre-part 6 civilian than he does.
A pre-part 6 civilian. He's not from Florida.
Part 6 really just fucks
He's not
up.
from
Yeah, well,
Florida.
that's true.
He's not a Florida man.
But yeah, so I want to bring up the punch card thing. So that feels like a very dated reference. From my to my limited knowledge, it kind of reminds me of I think how like computers, like way older computers would run. They would store all of their information and like processes on these like large like paper punch cards that would fold up, and then they would run it through
Dr.
a system.
Stone talked about like that at one point where they talk about like early computers.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think you're right. Because I know I've heard of this before, and not that I'm like I'm not like a huge computer guy that's like computer otaku that's looked at like the past history of computers, but it's very cool. It's very different. It's something new that I have not seen before in JoJo, which I love.
It's
I love when
like
there's
not
new
just like a mind control. It's like a very like it has its own gimmick of these weird like cards, but they have like the spit on them. So you kind of like I don't know, they have like a liquidy thing to them, but
I think
I know
that's
there's
his
a throw up
throw
mix
up.
in there, but you never know with how stands look. But yeah, he
I
gets
think
it on
it's
his
a throw up.
shoes too. But
And Josuke's mad because he's a style guy, and that's all. That's
but yeah,
all
like
he
I
cares
mentioned, he
about.
did like his not fully healed because he was kind of aggravated. So we have a guy with a really large hand. It looks like a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon where like when they slam their like hand into a door or something, and it's just like comically large.
It does, especially because the little sound effect says wobble.
Yeah,
Horrifying,
you can probably hear the
utterly
cracks and
horrifying.
like the
I cannot
pops and
imagine that.
everything. Like the nail, you see the nails on his finger, like say the same size though.
So, okay, I actually have a
What?
question about this. Like, do you think that's how his hand is permanently now, or do you think that's just like, do you think it's like how in a cartoon, like a character would like
I
reinflate their hand and it would puff up for a second, but then
Judging
it would
by
go
what
back to
happened
normal?
to Angelo, I'm going to say no.
I don't know. All the other people look fine. They
But then
don't
he
have like
goes like,
weird big
because
hands.
whole horse basically. Well, one guy gets his nose like I guess large in two, but like Josuke is like I fixed their wounds and I they have no room to complain, so I'm guessing they stay like that.
That is really upsetting. I would absolutely hate it if my hand grew 2 times its
One guy's like
size.
nose like yeah he grew a little bit. You can't really see what everybody else is, but like uh,
We can only
you can
assume
have
that
a
it's
tiny
internal. That
you
their
can literally have a
issues are
tiny
internal.
hand, like a Joshu
That
S
would be
tiny
even
hand.
worse.
But yeah,
But so yeah, mostly like the narration is still being carried by Whole Horse, and he's still like thinking about Dio, like he's still like remembering like, oh, I heard that voice again, and he's also kind of talking to himself about how
this
like
just
terrifying Josuke's power is, where he can destroy and
yeah,
reconstruct
he has
things, basically.
like hurt tattooed on his fist on one hand and a heel like on the other one. It's literally. But yeah, he just like this guy's like way too dangerous. Like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, essentially. But yeah, then the civilians kind of they're
So they start like freaking out a bit, and then Josuke. So it's cool because we see it from their point of view. Josuke punches like a million holes in the ground, like in
they're
the
all like
cement.
staring at him
With
like judgingly, and I loved it.
and it's cool. It's one of those stand moments where the non-stand users see like stand
That's
things
what I really
happening.
liked about this stuff. We saw that in the first chapter too, like the kid like in the alleyway, like where his whole horse's put his finger up to the sky and like shot. I
Yeah,
really love
that was
seeing that
awesome.
stuff. You don't see it nearly as much in JoJo as I like to.
There's some like I really need to check out this manga. Or I think there was an anime adaptation of No
There
Gun Life,
is.
but the way that he is like constructing these scenes and like the way he presents the characters in particular makes them feel like really imposing in a way. It's funny because like I think back at Josuke of being kind of like a goofy, like happy-go-lucky teen guy, but in this he legitimately comes across as terrifying and powerful, and it's really cool to
Like
see that.
Kuwabara. Very big
Very much so,
Kuwabara
yeah.
energy.
From Yu Yu
But he also
Hakusho.
likes to do the eye thing. He puts like this line on his eye. It looks like he's like, you're,
The anime like
yeah.
laser eye
But
thing, yeah.
I just love you first the whole for this cowboy guy. It's I just really love the relationship, like the way they like in this so far. Like it's
It's fun. It's certainly fun. It's funny too how like deadly serious Whole Horse is taking all this, and Josuke is very much being
Josuke.
like classic Josuke, like just kind of
He's fucking
fucking
around. Yeah.
around. The part when he makes the cement or the asphalt like
He literally just like we
molten,
said. This is
so he
this is
can't
big Looney
run.
Tunes energy too. Coming with
It
and
really
he could have
does.
just
Oh my
like do the
god.
running thing and just like make the ground like stack up, like fold up. But like, Howard is like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Fuck these one-on-one stand battles. But yeah, like you said, he notices like the punch card stand battle. Uh, he does think Josuke has weird hair, but there's one panel of like the car running over people, and you see like the eyes like over it, and I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool. I feel like that's kind of like foreshadowing like the
But
stand user that we're gonna see.
but he says like this is just inhuman. It's not like someone like carrying out an attack for hurting people or for revenge. It's just someone who has an urge to kill. Very bird-like, as we learned from Pet Shop, who just loves to kill anything in its way.
It's true. Birds
As we
love to
saw, like
kill.
kill those dogs, his little kids' dogs. But yeah,
So we have this funny scene where Josuke like is trying to catch up to Whole Horse, and he says that he fixes the asphalt under him back into a liquid. So this is one of those like Josuke is extremely OP moments where like he can do such crazy things with the stand. Like so assuming that the street looks worn and old. So he's able to like rewind
when it was liquid
time
cement.
like Yeah, like he's able to rewind the cement's life like all the way back to like when it was
Whereas,
poured,
yeah,
like
where
liquid.
like the time where you could like put your feet in there, get like, your handprint in there. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
also he just catches like the goofy faces really well too, not just a serious one. Like they have like this the him of like whole horse goofy face with like Josuke combing his hair, which I love to see.
Yeah, all of these little like little moments
He's like
between them
leaning
are
against
so
the
good. Like the
he's like
expressions are
leaning
so
against the wall
good.
while he's running, which is like really funny. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a little thing that I really just like, and that you how you the friend they both ruined their shoes in this past like 5 minutes.
It's like
It rhymes.
poetry.
But yeah, but that question Whole Horse asked him about is his a fool that bases his styles on what other people think, and he's like, yo, that recipe, we're gonna be like best friends now. And they get their introductions, and now they become his Okiyatsu before Okiyatsu meets him.
It is really funny that he's just like forcing this
Cause like,
role of best friend onto him. Like
well,
he does not want it. He's the whole horse is
at this
freaking out a
point,
little
Josuke
bit.
doesn't have any of his friends. Like,
It's true. He's a bit of
yeah,
a
he doesn't like
loner.
Okiyatsu. He doesn't meet until like that first encounter, and Koichi, I think, the only meets like he's like the opening narrator of when actual part 4 starts.
That's true. He
But
is. He
but
is.
yeah, but the whole horse like, oh, the Thodes predict this, and then we cut to he yells for Boingo, but we cut to the bird and his stand appearance, like actual, no name to it, but we see it with like a bunch of the tickets, like the punch cards, like all around them, like just covered with them.
Oh, I didn't even notice that when I didn't know how
It
to read
looks,
that design.
it looks
That's
like yeah, it looks
oh
like when like
wow.
take a number kind of thing, and you kind of would like
No, I know
it,
exactly.
it
Yeah, no,
has
you're
like
totally right.
very in the face of it reminds me of like a very like part 8 or maybe like an Iggy kind of thing, where it's like very mechanical looking.
Yeah, it's going for like a Psycho Mantis kind
Yeah,
of thing.
actually, it has a gas mask. It's just kind of very funny if you compare it to like I think it was Horace that Pet Shop had. It's just completely different design wise.
I think this is a good time as any to talk about like. So, do we think that there is maybe like another stand user orchestrating this? Like, it'd be really funny if this
I
was the big bad. Like, this was the
I think
villain
I think the
of
bird
this
because like
story.
it looks like that's where the ticket card's coming from, but like it'd be a weird misdirect when it still think it has the thing it's using on it. I
No, I totally think like I definitely think this is the stand user that's doing it, but I'm just wondering if there's like a mastermind
there
stand, like because it would be kind of weird for there to just
I
it would
think
to just only be
I'm
the
thinking
bird. You
like
know what I
maybe
mean?
someone else from part 3 can come back in this as
Ooh, maybe a Darby?
we
Mayhaps
could
we
see
see
a
a
Darby.
Darby?
We could see just like I'm trying to think who didn't get fucking killed and who would know about what happened to Catqueen and like or like knows about Pet Shop or like, the birds. And I'm just like
Yeah, the Kakyoin thing is like what kind of drives my interest the most because they have to give her like some
um
kind of
unless we get
satisfying payoff.
not whole Polnareff to show up because this would be before he. I guess that would be before everything that happened to him in part 5, right?
I think so, because part
Yeah,
five
but he
takes
got hurt
place
before.
like
Like they actually like.
in what 2001. I think part five takes place like mere months before
Yeah, I meant
9/11
like, but the thing
happens.
that when his encounter with the boss, like, did,
Yeah, I'm just
maybe
trying to
that'd be
think
a
of like where
year
that would fall in the
before.
timeline.
Maybe
Like
people have this timeline, but I mean that could be a thing because that'd be someone who knows had that fun dynamic with Whole Horse. Like I think
it's true. He would be the perfect crusader to bring for whole
it'd be
horse interaction
the only
because they
one
had
left
like a
that would know about Kakumi that wouldn't mess up with the timeline of like with Jotaro and Joseph because they're the only other two that survived. One arm
yeah.
Abdul appears. We find out what happened to everything that went away with Cream. But I'm like, yeah, Darby's like, I can see Darby show up. I'm just like, hey man, maybe you saying Midler? Who knows? I don't know.
All right, let's finish this off. There's
Yeah,
not too
it's gonna
much
get
left.
the actual with Kakuin's cousin that we met a little bit of in the first chapter. I think it's a Ryoko, her name.
Yes, she does say to call her Ron. I think. Wait, what is it? Hold on. I had to look at it twice because I keep
Yeah,
forgetting.
it's
And I
like
forgot
like second to
again.
last page. But
Yeah, call me
I'm gonna call her
Rion.
Ryoko.
I'm gonna call her Rion.
Kakuin.
or
You still call her
Ron. I
Kakyoin if you
wonder.
wanted to, but
No, it's not her
I mean,
name.
technically it is
Her
her
name
name,
is
but
Ron.
that's her last name.
So, as of last chapter, Ron, our favorite character, Rion, found the Book of Thoth merely like laying on the ground, absent its stand user,
Yes, but
Boingo.
again, I still love her design. We do find out that she was with Kakyoin when he first encountered Dio, which is really cool. And
Yeah.
his just like his first appearance saying, "Yeah, relax, Queen, we're gonna be friends." And then I guess she didn't see what happened to their encounter, but yeah, and then he vanished when he came back to Japan to, I guess, harass Jotaro with his puppets and his paintings, and harass that nurse that he like made stab students in the eyes, and then Jotaro blew up the school. All the
That I remember that explosion when we were reading the manga. The explosion for like when Star Platinum punches the ground of the school. It's insane how much it blows up the
yeah, he like
school.
the amount of like property damage and and the bodily injuries this Kakyoin caused just like from that one incident. It's really funny. But the one thing that's interesting was like her. So you see, like I guess like her like reading the newspaper clippings and or, like maybe all the news reports and everything. You kind of see like the mysterious death of a Japanese student, but you see like a senator. So you see like I wonder if that's like the senator that ran over all the people. She just
I think that's the
yeah.
implication.
What was his name? Senator. It was like, I think it was something with a W.
Senator
I wish
Armstrong.
Dia wouldn't be able to do shit to Senator Armstrong.
So it is very interesting. Like we have this new character is very much just like girl
Girl
Kakyoin.
Kakyoin that's
Like
going through like trying to get through the conspiracy because I guess the Speedwagon Foundation probably covered up what actually happened. I would say at least.
yeah, and it is very interesting because this is I think we mentioned this last time, but this is like one of the big like fan questions coming out of part 3. It's like Kakyoin is a high school student. Like he had a family. His family would be like mortified to hear that he died in Egypt like after running away in like 80 what was it? Like how long did it take him? Like it took him like 3
Something
3
like
months,
that.
right? Like ran away like 3 months ago.
Like
So it's I think it's really interesting to pick up this plot point, and it's honestly very satisfying. And the one thing I'm not so crazy of, and like they kind of allude to it in the little like previously on page in the beginning, but they kind of insinuate that she doesn't have a stand and that she's just using the Book of
yeah,
Thoth.
but didn't we see in the when we had Oingo Boingo not too long ago? Like, didn't the one kid that died who grabbed the book he could see the stuff in it? And
Yes. Yeah, so that's not the thing I have
until
an
he got
issue
past
with.
the
Like,
present, until he
I
got
think,
past like a little bit past a little bit of the future, he was like because that the pages haven't formed yet, which it does for her. So so I don't think she just
mhm.
like she just has the book because I guess he just told him to leave the book there.
Yeah, so my issue, and I kind of also like it. Like, I really like the idea of somebody just like finding this future book. I think it's a really cool like story hook. But at the same time, I like it feels a little like a missed opportunity to not make her a stand
And she
user,
should.
like to not give
I
her
mean, she
like a
still
new
can
stand.
because it's in the family, and Kekin was one of those people I think born with a stand. So
It's true.
maybe
I
just
mean, maybe he's just kind of doing the best of both worlds. Like he's giving us this cool like little story hook, and then we'll because it's a way to show that she's
yeah.
clever too. Because she kind of is able to like figure out what the deal is with the book and use
Yeah,
it to her
she ends
advantage.
up with like standard Morio. No matter what part 4 or part 8 Morio, there's standard civilians that are just the fucking worst.
Is this guy a reference? He's such like a defined character.
I was
Like,
just remembering like when Yashiho had to deal with the people in the car. I was having
yeah, I was
flashbacks to
thinking that
that,
too,
but like
actually.
they could be not because his eyebrows are like he had like or the hair is like going 3 like strands in front of the eyebrow. Like it's really weird.
It's also like shiny. It's kind of
Kind of
shiny.
yeah, very greasy.
So they have a whole scene where like he's being a mean. They're like they're like parked in the middle of the street for no reason. They're just being
Yeah,
like assholes.
the guy's telling him to, like
So
move, and they're like, "Yeah, you made me miss an important phone call on my 1999 cell phone."
and then our bad bitch
She,
Rion
slightly,
smacks it out of
she's
the
pretty
air
smug
with
about it.
She is really smug. It's interesting. Because like compared to a character like Yasuho, who I think Yasuho is supposed to kind of represent like the standard Japanese, like late teenager kind
Sure.
of character. Um, I mean, like I don't know. It's like she's not too like weird or eccentric
She,
in any certain way.
she
She's
is
very kind of
weird.
like she. I mean, she is, but like initially she's not.
Did she like lick her elbow that
This
one
is a very
time?
yeah. Well, I mean, kids do that kind of
Kid,
stuff.
she's
But like this is a very like immediate like oh this character is kind of like an asshole
yeah.
scene, which makes her fit really well into
She's
this
getting
like trio now.
drunk with
Honestly,
stand power. She
yeah. She got freaking one taste of it. And now she can't quit.
yeah, but like I like the guy like insults like her hair, but like Josuke is right there and like it's like thinks it's him, which is really she looks so cocky like he's her stan and it's like really funny. Like
Yeah,
even has the
it
panel
is
of like
really
her
funny.
like the fist literally coming from behind her, like she's using him as her stand. I kind of really like that.
Yeah, I really love that. It's like a 2-page spread. It looks really good because it's like she knew what was gonna happen, but she's still like surprised at it. Like this is the first time she's actually seeing like a stand. Oh, is she
I'm
seeing a
not.
stand? I didn't
I
even
don't know.
think
Maybe
about that.
she's. I'm not entirely sure. It looks like she can see like the impact of him getting hit by something, but
Because it's kind of like she's looking over. It's not like she's looking directly at the car. She's looking like over what would be the
also,
punches.
also,
So maybe she is a
and
stand user.
also he
They
just
just don't
turns the
reveal
car
it
into a
or
cage,
forget.
which is really fucking funny.
Yeah, very bird. Very on
Yeah,
theme with birds.
and whole horse comes in. Gotta see the lady's all right. It's just like you get a nice little relationship of like their dynamic going in here, and we get our trio now. And yeah, and
And that's kind of really it, I
well,
guess,
yeah,
right? Like she just introduces herself, says
we get
Rion to
we
Whole
get
Horse.
her and Josuke in the manga, like we get everybody in the manga form, which I really love seeing Josuke in the Oingo Boingo.
It is really funny seeing Josuke.
I like love how his hair his pompadour is really funny, and I love how it's like three balls together. And yeah, and then it had
Yeah, and it kind of just ends on like her being like, "OMG, like this prediction was
and he said
real."
yeah, and it basically said the book says she's one step closer to finding the truth behind her cousin's death. So, and the power of Thoth is in her hand.
It's gonna be. It's just weird because like obviously we know Dio's
Yes.
dead. Like she can't have like an epic standoff with
Dio,
Dio.
no one's ever really gone, Jim.
It's true. I mean, but who could fill that role? Like if we
Poochie.
really think that like
I know,
he's not ready yet.
He's
Though.
not groomed enough yet.
He's still cooking. But if we're really supposed to be like reading this as like her getting kind of like a
'Cause, like,
closure story,
Even
I don't know how she can like. Is there going to be someone they're going to have her like
because
confront? I don't
maybe
know.
like the video game Darby is young is like the only close because is in the mansion as one of his elites, I guess. Because Vanilla Ice is dead as well. Pet Shop is
I was gonna say Vanilla Ice is like the other one that I would
and
think
like
of.
because the only connection to Dio that's in Morio that we really seen other than like the arrow was Okuyatsu's dad. And
Hey, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he showed up in some way. Maybe I don't know. I can't imagine it, but like you're right. That is like the closest connection to Dio. That isn't one of the current characters.
yeah, because
we've
the arrow
seen.
doesn't really really matter too much until they start running around with it with like everybody, and I can't make that a plot point with Josuke because he's not supposed to know about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like trying to just put all these pieces around in order. I like to hear anybody else predictions about this of like who could be the payoff if it's not the bird's the objective, but like the bird can't be I guess the bird could be the final villain, but he's just kind of brainwashing people.
It would just be really weird if the bird was the final villain. Like
Unless
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I'm just like they do more Mario, so it gets more Mario originals, I guess.
It's just really interesting because the way that part 4 progresses, like we really can't
I'm like-
have a lot
I'm
of
like
characters
whole
show
worst
up.
enemy that like you can't have Enya and J-Guile show up because they're dead. Like it makes you think. It's like kind of makes you want to go through part 3 again, which I guess this is a good way to do that. Is with this manga, it makes you want to reread a part, which is cool.
Yeah, yeah, and we definitely should read
Yeah.
more part three.
Listen, someone fishes out Anubis, but I'm pretty sure like the end of that was like no one ever found it. Yeah. So other than that, I really liked the second chapter though. I'm excited to see like more of this. It's always really fun to read this.
It is really fun. I totally welcome any more JoJo that's like a questionably official. I mean, I guess it literally is official, but it's really interesting to see like how this will proceed because I could see it ending. I could see this being like a
Yeah,
mini and going like eight
I can see
issues,
that.
and maybe we don't have any other villain. Like maybe it
It
is
could
just
be.
this parrot, and it's more about like the characters' struggle with themselves, especially
Oh,
like
her
Ryoko's
her
struggle.
trauma, whole horse's trauma. Like not even just whole horse. It's like everybody from like the halfway house essentially. Like
Fails. I would really like to have a scene where her and Whole Horse just discuss
Dio.
like Dio because she also experienced Dio, and the conversations that him and Whole Horse and Mariah had in the first part were so interesting. I'm so for it. I think this writer is very clever in how he uses characters and like he's building upon like the basis that part three
Yeah.
created in a way where I think he's creating even more compelling versions of these characters. Time will tell, of course,
Oh,
but right now I'm
I
very
completely agree
interested.
with that. Like, I just find this whole like mystery fascinating, and it just yeah, taking the character that we've seen before, who does nothing but like a goofball, but like actually having like this having trauma from everything. It's nice to see some part three like after effects like this.
Yes, having like realistic trauma,
Having
because that's like one of those things where like so many times, especially it's like a fan fiction thing where it's like, oh, this cute little character you know and love from this cartoon, they were fucking killed. Their parents were killed in front of them, and it's
but
like so over the top. But these are like scenes that we
characters
saw. Like we saw Whole Horse react to
because like
Dio before.
there's parts in JoJo where characters do react to like fucking a good friend of them dying and like having to affect them heavily, and then there's times where they don't really react afterwards too much about it.
That's true.
Like it's really funny to to think about, and just nice to see like the extended family of these characters actually be affected by it.
Yeah, it's as I said before. I think it's a really like it's a ripe uh,
And
fruit to
Kakun
go
was like the
after
best character to pick from that.
for sure. Totally
With
for sure. Because like Polnareff, we've seen
yeah,
enough of. Like we've seen him later. We know his
they
fate,
could Abdul's
unfortunately.
actual father.
I'm looking for my
Not again,
son.
not another father. But yeah, and then
Um,
but yeah, I'm excited. And I think next month we're gonna get there's two. The one with Iggy, I guess Abdul and Joseph getting Iggy in New York, and
so are they? Are they? I really don't pay attention to like news about things because I just like when things happen when they show up in front of me. Those are not part of the JoJo
no,
magazine
I
because
think these
that's
are
in
yeah, that's
March,
March. I
right?
think these are like the February things because I know we're getting one with the Iggy, and then what was the other one? Oh, the Lisa between part two and three, like encountering a stand user or encountering a stand.
Huh.
So that's like the synopsis of like those next two coming out, which we're probably gonna.
I didn't even realize there was a Lisa one. I might have read it, but like my brain didn't
Yeah,
retain
it's
that
probably that's the
information.
one I'm excited the most for. But that's probably gonna be combined to the next chapter of this. I would guess.
The upcoming short is scheduled to be released in this March in JoJo magazine.
What?
So I'm pretty sure
Okay.
it's March.
Is it? Is it like coming out in March or like the February issue, the March issue? I hate like magazine fucking.
It said
Okay,
in
in March,
March
got
in
it.
the JoJo magazine, which I believe is going to be
Okay,
slated for
that's what I'm sure
March.
because he does those things where like, oh, the February one comes out in actual a month before. So
Yeah, I know what you mean. All right, wait, here we go. I found
we're
this
professionals like
article.
this.
So yeah, JoJo magazine includes two new short stories. Um, The King of Infinity is about
Yes,
Lisa. It's written by Junjo Shindo. I should have
you
looked
should
this
have.
up
I
beforehand.
I thought about this too, and I
Um,
forgot to do it as well.
so this guy wrote Treasure Island.
Oh, the
Um,
original one, cool.
wait,
Treasure Planet.
wait, no, it's
Yeah,
not
Treasure.
Gantz. It's not the Gantz guy. It's not.
Oh
It cannot.
God.
It cannot be the Gantz guy, right? No,
Okay.
it's not. This is. Oh, Gantz EXA. This must be a Gantz
Jim
spinoff.
got
I was
really
gonna say,
excited there.
there's no fucking way. If there's a JoJo spinoff written by the Gantz guy, no, I would
Lisa
lose my shit.
in the Gantz.
Oh my god, she'd have the biggest boobs ever. Um, sorry, no, that's not true.
Okay,
So,
wow, Jim, way to talk shit about Lisa's boobs.
well, no, I'm saying this guy must have done a Gantz
Interesting.
spinoff.
Well, you have an excuse to talk about
Uh,
Gantz next episode.
It's true. I will mention Gantz.
But I don't know about Iggy. I'm
So
not the Iggy one. I'm not sure that's anything special.
I don't want to read any more, but the little bit that I read about the Iggy one got me really excited. So, but I wish I hadn't read it.
But
So
yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully, people don't have a heart attack over it compared to like the Jolene one.
Fujiko's wacky Jolene
Yeah,
fan
the
art
Jolene
one, yeah.
Dojin one.
That was weird. I really enjoyed that one. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah,
and stupid,
that's
but,
the best way. It was fun and stupid, but like not gonna take it not too seriously.
I hate to keep harping on this because like it's annoying too, but like JoJo fans of all people getting mad about that is just like what the fuck? Like what? I do not relate to JoJo fans
Don't
if this
don't
is
send
what
death
angers
threats to
them.
fucking people like that. Just don't do it.
It's just wacky. I know like there's a whole thing with like what's the whole like what's the word when like yaoi, like I know people like they're repellent to yaoi. Like I remember one of the cons we went to forever ago, there was like one yaoi stand that we walked by that was like selling just so much fucking like JoJo, like Jokakaka and like Caesar and
Yeah.
Joseph and like so much like dojin, like I guess yeah, whatever dojins. And I was just like, oh, that's not my thing, but I'm not gonna be like angry when I get like a
Yeah.
new comic that's just like a one shot. That's like a Yuri, like
It's literally harmless.
I
Not
don't know.
it doesn't have to be canon.
Yeah, it's like it's built into the story that it's like
It's
not.
it's
canon,
better than
essentially.
like Jotaro and Kakun having laying an egg together and having a child.
Which is also like
Yeah,
more
somehow.
canon. It's just everything's canon. Jokakaka.
Yeah.
It's Jokakaka.
So I'm excited. We got plenty of shit in the future ready to come on our plates. We get more of this.
And
Yeah.
JoJoLands. The one thing I'm really hoping out for the JoJo magazine is a JoJoLands like confirmation. Like the idea of seeing the new JoJo like literally makes my heart skip a beat. Like if we like that, because I'd imagine that
Yeah.
would be the teaser. Would be
What do
see
you-
the new JoJo
In the
Oh my
comments, you
God.
can put what you think is going to be shown. Like, we just get like a protagonist like info, where we have a like actual like more info than just that. Like,
Yeah, maybe see a little bit of the setting as well. Like we'll
Wait to
get a
do-
little tease. I really wish that somebody would make like a YouTube video where they would go back and like show how JoJo parts were revealed before, so I know what to
Yeah.
expect. Because like I think JoJoLand was revealed in the last issue or the last chapter of well, in the same issue of Shueisha or whatever that
Yeah.
what is it, Ultra Jump that part 7 was in. So that is just wild and wacky. That must have been such
and
a
this is
crazy
like the longest
moment.
like gap between parts, I think. So
I believe you're right. Yeah, it's been. Oh my God, has it been a year yet? It's gonna be.
what? No,
No, it
No,
can't-
it's been like-
not
it's only been a
year. It's not
couple of
been a
months.
year. Because it ended what in
yeah,
August?
it's only been like we're getting close to
Jeez,
like,
we're getting
maybe
there.
the half
We're
a
getting
year.
there.
But yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna have we probably have to do like a JoJo magazine like special or Jokakaka episode. That's gonna be everything's gonna be in there. So
I would love to do that.
yeah, it's the one
actually.
thing.
I'm very much looking
Something I would
forward
love
to
to
it.
own physically.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing.
But yeah, and anything else you want to say about this or the upcoming stuff?
JoJoLand 110 came out 5
Damn.
months ago.
It's
So.
gonna be so it's definitely gonna go up to 6
Yeah.
months then, because February is nothing's gonna be out other than this. So
True.
I'm excited. We just
Yeah,
have
me
to
too.
hold out a little bit longer.
Yeah, we're in kind of a funny spot because like everyone's just kind of waiting with bated breath for JoJoLands, but
Hey, I can use that to segue into other stuff that we've been I can plug in there that we've been doing to help fill the time. All
Do
right.
it.
Thank you all so much for listening to the whole horse chapter. We love I actually like nice talking about other like JoJo content like this. It's like it's nice to be able to do again, it's like I'm just saying.
Yeah, we haven't done like a proper Jokakaka.
We did one last
we
month
did
for
one
this,
last
but
month,
yeah, this is just this one chapter we're talking about and trying to make predictions about it. It's kind of nice to do again.
Yeah, it is. It is like it's very different. It's totally because like we've been doing the Attack on Titan thing,
Just
which has been like
one-sided.
well, most of it has been like these long like we'll watch like 4 episodes and then talk about it. But now we're doing these
It's
single.
too hype. It's too
We're
hype
back
not
to
to
it.
do like to do more than like one episode about. I have to do like episode by episode for Attack on Titan. Which if you haven't,
It's true.
we do Attack on Titan. We started the final season. We're doing it while it airs, so check that out. I haven't seen it. Jim has. You guys listen to my batshit predictions. Go ahead.
It's a lot of fun. I always look forward to
We
those.
have a part 3 as podcast as well. If you want to listen to some of the stuff about that, we do it'll come out when we want when we want to. We feel like doing them.
We should do one soon. We've had some people
everybody's
requesting that
favorite
we
cult
return
series
to
that we had. But yeah, I think I've been having that itch, and I would love to do Anubis, which I think we're on to next. So
yeah, we definitely should. We'll talk about this off air.
yeah.
But yeah.
So you can follow the podcast on Twitter or me and Jim separately. You can join our Discord, and I believe that's everything. Unless there's anything I'm missing.
Nope.
All right. And with that, we'll see you in February, I guess, for chapter 3 of this.
Definitely, yeah. And if anything else pops out in the meantime, aka a little anime awards,
get your booze ready.
You'll have to just you'll just have to watch
Oh
that
shit, I'm excited
too.
for that. All right.
All right. Well, have a nice, wonderful day, evening, wherever you may be, whoever you may be.
And yeah, everybody, take care.
Goodbye.